Hello everyone, my name is Marta Lloret-Llinares and I will tell you about the PerMedCoE Competency Framework and how you can explore it in the ISMB Competency Hub. PerMedCoE is the HPC Exascale Center of Excellence for Personalized Medicine in Europe. It focuses on the simulation of cellular mechanistic models, which are essential to translate omics data into medical actions. PerMedCoE will scale up software for cell simulations to the present HPC Exascale system to enable the creation of models of medical relevance. In addition, to spread the use of these simulations, it is essential that these tools are accessible to biomedical professionals. So one of the activities of PerMedCoE will be to develop a training program to train biomedical professionals in the use of these tools. For this, we are building a competency-based training program. And to build it, the first step is to create a competency profile. Competencies are observable abilities of any professionals, and a competency may integrate multiple components such as knowledge, skills, and attitudes. And we do add these other components to the competencies because they can add a level of detail that is quite important for us when designing training courses, as some of them might be quite short and cannot cover a whole competency. So the PerMedCoE Competency Framework contains this list of abilities of professionals in the field, which is what we call Competency Profile, and it's centered on the competency. But then several related competencies are grouped together in a domain. And below the competency, we have this increased level of detail through knowledge, skills, and attitudes. But in addition of this list of abilities, the competency framework also includes training resources and career profiles that we will keep adding in the coming weeks. So this is all work in progress, and it will continue evolving during the lifetime of the project. So the MBLBI is working on this kind of competency-based training programs in several projects. And for this reason, we decided to create a sustainable home for competency frameworks, which is the Competency Hub. A website designed to support competency-based training and professional development. And on this site, end users can explore competency frameworks, find training resources, explore career profiles, build their own profile, or compare profiles. And I will take you now to the website and show you how the website works, focusing on the PerMedCoE competency framework. So if we go to the Competency Hub, we have this landing page with different competency frameworks that have a short description about the professionals they relate to. And then if we go to the PerMedCoE one, we will find that it has several tabs in there. So it has career profiles, which is on the top because we think it might be the most useful one for a broad range of users. It also has competencies, and then one tab where you can export the whole competency profile, and a list of training resources that doesn't contain many things right now, but we will add more training resources related to the competencies in the next weeks. So I will show you these career profiles in a moment, but I will start with the competencies so that you can see the starting point of this. So the PerMed competency profile has three domains. So the competencies are grouped in three: the computational personalized medicine, computing competencies, and parallel computing competencies. In the first domain, we have some competencies about how to do research and about scientific and medical knowledge, and also how to handle data or how to comply with professional and ethical standards. And then in the computing competencies and the parallel computing competencies, there are some competencies that are more for any user of the tools that we are working on, and some others that will be for more advanced users or for tool developers. So for example, operate effectively within a Linux environment or use the batch script can be some more general competencies, while write parallel programs will only be for a subset of the people who will be using this competency framework. So now if I go and click on this at the left of the competency, on this thing, I can see this higher level of detail with the knowledge, skill, and attitude. So here you can see some examples of them. So knowledge could be experimental design or relevant data sources, types, and standards. A skill could be designs experiments in a critical way to answer research questions. And an attitude could be critically evaluates new technologies and discoveries. And most of the competencies here in the PerMedCoE competency framework have between 3 and 6 of each of these components. When you are in the Competency Hub, you can also find more information about each competency. So if you go to more details, you will go to a page that is specific for that competency, and you can have information here of where this competency comes from. And in this case is the ISCB competency framework, because to create the PerMed competency framework we used some other related ones, and that's one of them is the ISCB one, and you can see here how we used information from there. When we add training resources, they will also, so training resources related to this competency, they will also appear here on this page. If I now go back to the front page, we can see the career profiles in more detail. So here we have a few examples of what different roles in the field of computational personalized medicine could be. So here, when you go to one of these roles, we can click on the senior bioinformatician one. You have a short description about the background of this person. So what did they study and how they moved through their career. And then we have a description of the activities of their current role. So in this case, it's a senior bioinformatician working at a hospital, so in the genomic medicine department of the hospital. And here we can see a bit of what they do in their typical week. And this can, of course, give an idea of people who are exploring possible career path for themselves. They can here have an idea of whether this is a role for them or not. And then below this description, we have the full list of competencies in the framework, and then to which level you're required to have these competencies for this role. So in this case, a senior bioinformatician. And the levels we use is awareness, working knowledge, and specialist knowledge, but it can also be not applicable in some cases. So here you can see how some of them about the data or the expertise in sciences is higher than some others. Of course, this is a bioinformatician, so the computing competencies are also quite high, while some of the more parallel computing specific ones, like the write parallel program, we have only awareness level here. In each of the competencies, you can also open and see the whole knowledge, skill, and attitudes. And in some cases, we could untick one of these to say that this doesn't apply for this specific role. When you are here viewing the profiles, you can also create your own, just if you want to check. So I can just take here, it's only necessary to have the name and the job title, so I'll just do something quickly there, because I just want to show you how you can map the competencies there and decide which level you have. And I'm going to do it quickly now, but just to show what you can do. So if you have your level there, then when you go back to the first page, you have this profile that you have created, and you can now compare to the senior bioinformatician one, compare the selected profiles, and you will see where you need to improve. So I would need to improve in these two competencies, and of course the other ones I've left blank. But you can see where you need to improve, which competencies you need to improve. to get a position in this role. And then in future, when we add training resources, you would also be able to explore which training resources are associated to that competencies, and therefore which training resources you can use to improve in that competency. So now I'll go back to the presentation just to show you where we are going with this PerMedCoE Competency Framework. So as I told you, this is work in progress. We are going to continue working on it during the project. One of the things that we will do is to adapt the competency profile as the project and the field evolve. We are also working on adding more career profiles. And we want to also add learning pathways, which would be a curated set of training resources to address a specific challenge. So it's, for example, how do I access an HPC machine to run one of the simulations? That could be one of these learning pathways. And because both the PerMedCoE Competency Framework and the website, the Competency Hub, are work in progress, if you have any suggestions, please let us know, because we would be really happy to hear about them and to do as much as we can to improve. So I would like to finish by thanking everybody at PerMedCoE who has worked in the competency framework, and also the people at TBI who are involved in the development of the Competency Hub and in all the competency work that we do, and also the BioExcel and the ISMB people who have worked on other related competency frameworks. Thank you very much, and let me know if you have any questions.